Good afternoon. I'm here to talk about the idea of paying it forward for the interest of future generations. The idea of paying it forward is looking at the idea of passing on a good deed onto another person as opposed to repaying that good deed back to the original benefactor. This whole concept is great because it looks at how individuals are willing to help society and help pass on that good deed to help others. And I want to take this idea but apply it to how businesses can pay it forward and what businesses can do to engage with the local community, specifically to help the future generations by engaging with schools. I guess in business terms, this is looking at how companies can incorporate their corporate social responsibility into their ways of thinking. And at the moment, as it stands, it seems to be a responsibility of large enterprises. But actually, it's more important that SMEs start to embed this into their culture and their ways of thinking. So I want to take Milton Keynes as a case study and look at 3 reasons why SMEs should be incorporating corporate social responsibility into their ways of thinking with the interests of future generations in mind and how engaging with schools in Milton Keynes can help the community, the talent, and how it can be rewarding for those companies. So 3 reasons. The first one being community vitality. Looking at Milton Keynes, we have over 11,000 businesses here, ranging from a whole spectrum of different industry sectors, from retail to manufacturing, design, technology, health, education. There's such an array of different opportunities here in the city. And that's just the start of it. Milton Keynes is continuously expanding, attracting more businesses, not just locally, but on a global scale. And it's brilliant. There's such an array of different opportunities. However, recent statistics exposed last year in the Vital Signs report shows that, in fact, there are 12,500 children living in poverty, 9,000 of which live in workless homes. There are 35,000 over 16-year-olds that possess no qualifications whatsoever. And there are some schools here with over 50% of their students on free school meals. There are 12 areas of deprivation in Milton Keynes, which sit within the top 10% of deprived areas within the UK. And despite low unemployment figures of 3.1%, 20% of those are young people. So that just gives you a snapshot of what actually lays behind the scenes here in Milton Keynes. On one hand, we've got a thriving business community full of opportunities. But on the other, we've got this deprived scene where students are struggling to try and achieve and to try and reach these opportunities that are in the city. And it's clear to see that there is a gap. With the schools and businesses engaging in Milton Keynes, we can help to see that the engagement of these businesses within the schools can help to bridge this gap. And this is now being recognised by some of the schools within Milton Keynes. For example, from the Milton Keynes Academy, they've got on board and started engaging with businesses, and they can see that the benefits of doing so is helping to bridge this gap and give the students opportunities to succeed. So it's clear to see that if there is this engagement between businesses and schools, we can start to bridge this gap. We can start to close this gap between thriving business opportunities and students struggling. This is important for the community vitality because it shows that this engagement can help improve social mobility, and improving social mobility improves community vitality. So that's my first point of why businesses should engage. My second is for talent. Talent is an extremely important quality for both parties to recognise. It's important for students to realise their potential, to see where their talents lie and how they can develop and grow it. And by working and gaining experience within businesses can help them realise where their talents lie. On the other hand, businesses can also realise, by working with these students, how and where the talents lie within the future generations. And it helps them to encourage the next generation coming up and helps them to work with the talent, nurture it, and improve their supply of talent into their business. It's helping their growth and productivity. A few ways that this is happening in Milton Keynes so far is through a various of different schemes, such as young apprenticeships, young enterprise, apprenticeship schemes. The engineering and education scheme is a great example. It gives groups of students opportunities to work on real-life projects. And that puts them into a situation being engaging with those businesses and actually working on projects for those businesses. It puts them in a real-life situation. Another example is work experience. It's small investments from the company, but it gives students an opportunity to go into businesses and get a first hands-on experience of what a business environment's like. There are multiple different opportunities there that businesses can start to engage with schools, and they can start to realize where the talents lay, and also by building these relationships, give those students the opportunity, give them the accessibility to get onto the pathways to expand on their talents. This is being realized recently by one of the local, our Sports and Education Trust. And the chief exec explains here that actually building those partnerships is important for their structure and for their goals, to be able to achieve their goals. Building these partnerships creates sustainable success. So number 2 was talent. Okay, the third reason why businesses, I think, should be engaging with schools is that it's rewarding. It's rewarding for businesses to know that engaging with schools can offer those life opportunities that aren't necessarily available otherwise. It's important to kind of give these opportunities to these next generations and make them realize that they are out there and that they are accessible. And it's also rewarding to give those students those opportunities, because without realizing these opportunities, without giving them something to aspire to, they have no goals, they can't relate to it. So giving those businesses that opportunity to expose those opportunities to the students is rewarding. It's also rewarding, and it's motivational tools for businesses to encourage employees and feed back in that talent into their business. One scheme that's running here in Milton Keynes is the Brunel Urban Scholars, and that's giving opportunity to a number of students here in Milton Keynes the opportunity to go off to a university, to Brunel, to go and experience what opportunities are beyond school and realize what life education is and what opportunities and experiences there are at university. And again, working with the Milton Keynes Academy, this has exposed a number of students to realize what possibilities there are out there and build their confidence and give them the ability to say, I can. So going back to the idea of why companies should pay it forward. The idea that companies should pay it forward, in the end of the day, is to show that companies pay it forward eventually leads to companies paying it forward, pays it back. And the idea that the engagement of businesses with schools eventually is contributing to the company's growth and productivity, and it will pay it back at the end of the day. And I want to leave you with one last quote, and that is, profit and morality are a hard combination to beat.